Hello, everybody. It's Divina and Michael. Welcome back to Stage Door. Let me ask a quick favour before we keep on with our ramble. Please like, share, and subscribe. It would really help us out. So, this is Stage Door with
Michael.
and Divina.
Yes, we are basically hanging out around stage doors all over the world to meet your favorite theatre stars.
Oh, yes, we are. And we're going to be meeting lots of exciting and interesting people from across the theatrical world.
Yes, we are. And today we are very, very excited because we have a star who has graced both stage and screen. It's actor and model, Matt Lapinskas. Welcome. The crowd goes wild. I love it. I love it. I love it. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's things? How's life?
Good, thank you. I was actually looking on your Instagram because I wanted to see what you sort of state yourself as, and you've got actor, model, and husband. So
Yes.
I didn't know, I didn't want to sort of say and husband in case someone might have thought that we were relating you to Davina's husband or something like that. But no, obviously you are huge, and everybody will know of you, and we're so excited to get into it. Thank you for being on with us
It's
today.
all right. Absolute privilege to be here. It's one of those where it's such a small world, and you meet people doing different things, and we'll probably get on to how we met and stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those where you just meet different people, and then like what you're doing, you're creating stories and creating different things with people to really get that inside information. So it's great.
We are. We're excited to get that inside information from you, Matt. But before we dig into you, I want to know where it all started. Where did you grow up? How did you start getting into performing? And what was this the dream, or was there something else that you wanted to do first?
Well, back when I was younger, so I was born and bred in a little place called Staines, which was probably put on the map by a certain Sacha Baron Cohen with his Ali G. So I'm originally, yeah, one of the Staines boys. Booyah, and so that's where I was born and bred. That's where I grew up with all my mates. Playing football, going out on the bikes before iPhones and TikTok and all this Snapchat was ever invented. So lived a great childhood, had an amazing time. Went to Magna Carta School, and then from there went to Brooklands College where I did a BTEC, and then from Brooklands went to Italo Conti. Where I studied acting, but before that as well, I managed to get into the National Youth Theatre when I was 16. Had a great time there, and just for me, it was just all about. I wasn't very academic at school, so I wasn't very much like science. Like my science lessons kind of had me trying to probably set the Bunsen burner on fire rather than actually listening to chromosomes and all that stuff. But yeah, so for me, it was all about being a creative, being using my imagination. I've got massive like ADHD. I can't sit still, can't stop talking. So for me, it's one of those where it allows me to sort of like focus and channel that into something else. But yeah, I've always wanted to do it since I was young. My nan was like my massive inspiration. She was a performer. She used to do ballet, she used to sing, she used to tap dance. She was incredible. She lived a life till she was 93, and she was able to come see me in all my different shows, which was incredible. But for me, that's where it all started. Really, I wanted to sort of express myself and do what I love to do, and get paid for it. And yeah, when you can say you do a job you love, then you've never worked a day in your life. So for me, that's what I do every day.
Yeah. So at Italia Conte, was there something that has helped to sort of sustain you through the years of work? You know, some one teacher or one piece of advice or something that you learned in a lesson that was like, that clicked for me and that has really helped to sustain me.
I think it was a teacher. I think it was at National Youth Theatre, or was it at Conti? It was so long ago, I can't remember. But they said to me, "Is always be you, always be an individual." Because I think when you're younger as well, and especially in today's day and age with social media and stuff, we're always comparing ourselves to like other people. Like, oh my God, that person's got great skin, that person's got great teeth. I need to have that in order to do what they do. But you don't want to do what they do. You want to do what you do. And for me, it's all about that. It's all about being an individual and being the best of you and what you can be. And and I think I had that at drama school as well. You know, you had the guy who was amazing at Shakespeare, who was amazing at this, and I was never going to be good at Shakespeare. It's not my thing. Even though I respect it and I think it's amazing, it was just never my thing, and I was never going to be a Shakespeare actor. Um, I was born to, do TV stuff, to be flamboyant, to be on stage, to sing simply the best. You know, that's me. That's me. That's not. So I think that's what I learned very early on, is to do what is best for you, and to sort of really, like, sort of chime in and really like zone in on what it is that makes you a creative and what makes you different, to stand out, rather than trying to blend in.
That's amazing. Was there a moment then that you realized, actually, although you had that want and drive, was there a
Mm.
moment that you thought, yeah, I can make this a career? Was there a specific job that you had, or even when you were training, did you think, yeah, I'm better than all of these guys?
It's like, it's so when you're kind of doing things, and it's when I was younger doing different shows. So I started off when I was back in like secondary school in year seven. We did like Bugsy Malone, and I played like seven different roles in there. I played like Babyface, the ventriloquist, all these different like parts, and I just loved it and loved it and loved it, and kept going. And then I started getting like, the lead roles when I got to like year 10 and 11, and then coming out of there, going into sort of Brooklands. I was kind of like, every time we did something, I was cast as like one of the leads, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I wouldn't be sort of be given these roles. And then at college as well, we did a play called Opposite of People, which was wrote by our teacher, and we entered it into different festivals and stuff. And I started winning like best actor in festival, best actor in this festival as well. And it was kind of, I was just like, oh, so maybe I can do it. But my dad's very he's like oil and gas. He's very much like science, and very much, and always used to say to me like, yeah, but you might have to get like a proper job, and you might need to do something else, and like, always have a backup, because he's my father, and he's concerned that, if it is a hard industry, don't get me wrong, it is a very hard industry to make and crack, and you've got to be persistent with it. But I think for me, coming out of drama school, signed with my agent, my first audition was Anthony Moon in EastEnders, and I got it, and that.
That was your first one.
It's my first audition. Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, it was quite incredible. I literally went and did the audition at the BBC up in Elstree. Met Julia Crampsey, who's the casting director up there, and found out, you're going to be playing, like, we'd like you to audition for Anthony Moon, part of the Moon Brothers. They'd already cast Tyler Moon, who was played by Tony Discipline, who's a lovely guy, love him to pieces. We're still in contact now. And then obviously found out that the person playing Eddie Moon, our father, would be David Essex. So it was just a big surreal moment. So I did my audition, did another audition, then I didn't hear anything from them, and then I got another call asking to come back in, and then I went back in as like a final three, and yeah, then a week later, I think my agent called me when I was working at like a reception at a gym, and was like, "What are you doing now?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just at work." She's like, "Well, I just wanted to say hello, Anthony Moon." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you got it." I was like, "No way." And then yeah, from there it was all surreal, going to set, going to Albert Square, meeting everybody, being part of the Moon family. David Essex, such a iconic superstar in himself. So it was a very big, going in. It was very like publicized. And then literally like overnight, yeah, when my first episode came out, it was just overnight, walking down the road the next day, and people going, "Oi, Andy, Andy, Andy!" I was just like, this is mad, like mad. But yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy. So yeah, and then literally did like 2 years there, and over 100 episodes. It was amazing.
That's cool. So obviously you've worked then originally on screen, but since then you've a lot done stage work as well. Do you have a favorite between stage and screen?
Well, since I was younger, so my dad loves to sing. Like, my whole family love to sing. My dad plays a guitar, so I don't know if you can see my guitars in the background over here. So I love playing guitar. I love when I was growing up writing songs, singing. So it was something that I loved to do, but I didn't train musical theatre. I trained in a straight acting course. Um, so when I finished EastEnders, it was one of those, like, I always wanted to try and see if I could do it. And like, I loved singing. I loved singing in groups. I loved singing in harmonies. I loved it all. So when I finished EastEnders, Dance on Ice came, and then did Dance on Ice, which was incredible. Had the most amazing time. Came second, so yeah, didn't win, but never mind.
Davina
All
knows
right,
about
coming
coming.
second is absolutely fine, darling. Don't worry about it.
Listen, sometimes they say coming second is the best way.
Yeah.
You know, it's a courtesy. That's what I put it down as. So yeah, finished that, and then I was like, okay, so what is it I want to sort of do now? And there was other sort of things coming along. I did dance on ice as well, because obviously the first sort of like 2 years of my life, people just, they see you as a character on TV, so it was like, Anthony Moon, Anthony Moon, and I wanted people to sort of get to know Matt Lapinskas rather than Anthony Moon. Um, which was good, and it worked, and I was able to sort of go on. I did panto after that, which was incredible. Had the most amazing time. Actually did my first ever panto at Bromley, where we met, me and Michael, and then what did I do after that? And then after that, I got in contact with Bill Kenwright and asked Bill if he'd consider me for a musical called Joseph, to play the Pharaoh. And yeah, that was literally off my own back. Like, I emailed him, and he was like, "Yeah, come down." And I literally went in, sang in his office, and yeah, he gave me the job there and then, which was incredible.
Whoa, you don't hear stories like
Wow.
that.
Yeah, so I feel about this like back in the. Well, I think it's different nowadays because obviously, yeah, social media is a massive marketing tool, where you can market yourself and everything. But back in the day, you literally just had to send emails. You had to chance it. Like, I'm one of those people that I'll call anyone, I'll speak to anybody, and chance it. And sometimes, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, sometimes you hear nothing. But it's. I always think it's not the no. I think no means next opportunity. So there's always another opportunity coming. And that's sort of like a phrase that I love to go by, is like, if you don't get something, it doesn't mean no. It just means next opportunity. There's another opportunity coming. And that's what I live by. So
That's
And that's
great.
amazing with Ken Wright. Ken Wright had a bit of a reputation for being that person who started lots of people off in their
yeah,
trajectory in musical theatre, because he would just go, "Yeah, go on, let's
yeah,
let's have a go."
he literally would. He was like, he had things in his mind, which like he's like cared for and like crafted so many like young people's careers. He gave so many people their first opportunity that everyone says, "Oh, Bill came right, yeah, working, 13 shows, worked you like a dog, da da da, didn't pay you like hardly anything." But yes, it's true. But I feel like when I did Joseph for like a year, God, that literally made me like believe I could do anything. If I can do 13 shows a week, like dancing, singing, like traveling, you can do anything. So
Yeah,
now, like when I do, well, I've got pantomime again this year in Stevenage, and we do 97 shows. Like, I'm like, yeah, bring it on, easy, light work. And like,
yeah.
then you get some of the youngsters, they're doing it like, oh, get to 10 shows, they're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it tomorrow. I'm like, oh, grow up, come on, come on, come on. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Very good.
amazing training in the actual industry.
Yeah, that's
That
the
was
thing,
the
and
thing.
that you don't, and you're getting paid for it. You're getting paid. You
Yeah,
had to used to pay to get that training, and now you're being paid to have that
yeah,
training, and it's
yeah.
it's great. And I did mine with Lloyd Daniels as my Joseph. It's like
Oh yeah,
lovely. Yeah, love Lloyd. Such a lovely guy. He's an agent now as well, so
yes.
he's smashing it. I got to work with Danielle Hope as well, who was Over the Rainbow. So shit, that was for me coming in and working with these guys, and then amazing musical theatre people as well. Some people that have been there for a while, like Richard James Hunt, who's just done Kinky Boots.
The
Um,
dream of a
oh
human.
my God, absolute
Absolute dream of a
gorge,
human.
gorge,
Gorge. And
gorge.
after a show, you've never seen somebody manage so much white wine in your entire life. An
Literally,
absolute icon.
so it was literally we were at Bromley the other day when we did Dreamcoats at Bromley, and he didn't message me, but he was working at stage door, and I came up the stairs and I was just like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I was going to text you, but I just thought I'd surprise you," and I was just like, "Oh," I just gave him the biggest hug, and that's what I love about this industry as well. You meet certain people that you're like. You might not see them for like 2 3 years, but when you see them, it's like you just catch up like it was
Yeah.
yesterday, and they're just lovely people, and people in the industry then get married and you go to a wedding, you're like, oh my God, that person's there, that person's there. So it's like, it's lovely. But he's just gorgeous, and there's so that you work with so many different people that you just get along with and you have connections with, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
So talking about weddings, you are a husband,
I am
and
indeed.
your wedding looked quite amazing from what I can see on social media. Was it always something that you've dreamed of to have a big wedding?
Well, do you know what? I never thought about marriage until I met my wife.
I just got
And
goosebumps.
yeah, made
That's
me a
so
little bit
sweet.
emotional. That's weird.
Oh,
Here we are. I'll show you this. This is our here we are in our lovely wedding, everything. So yeah, she's
just outside your front door.
yeah, it's just outside the front door. But we had the most amazing times. It was at Headsore House. But yeah, it was. We're quite what's the word? Not an extravagant couple, but we like to enjoy nice things in life, and we wanted it to be. We're both performers. Like when my wife's on stage, like all attention is on her. She's an incredible performer, and I still like the same with me. Like when I'm on stage, it's I will just that's what we love to do. So on our wedding day, it was all about us. It was a big. I wouldn't say a performance, but just a extension of who we are. It was incredible. We had so many like performer friends there. I think in the evening as well, I was looking around, there's like all our performer friends. We had like there was like 6 casting directors there. We were like, what is this? This was mad. We had the amazing Red, the singer Red.
Yeah, insane.
She was there. She was absolutely insane. Her and her husband did the evening entertainment. She sang at our wedding reception. We had like a 4-piece orchestra as she walked down the aisle, playing above. Yeah, it was just incredible. It's not something that I'd ever like thought, oh, this is what I want. But when we finally met each other, it was something that we wanted together. It was just incredible, and we've just got memories to last a lifetime now. So yeah, we're buzzing.
Absolutely. Oh, well, we think it's time for a little game, if you don't mind,
Oh, I
Matt.
love a game.
So all we're
Good.
going to ask you to do is Davina's going to have 30 seconds on the stop clock, and you've got to name as many musical theatre song titles
My God.
as you can. So you can go through all of Joseph if you want, go through all
Yeah.
of Les Mis, whatever you want, but it's just the song title we're looking for.
The song title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Steady. Go.
We Will Rock You. Oh my God. Oh my God. You Will Be Found. Oh my God. Bring Him Home. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. All That Jazz. Oh my God. Come What May. Oh my God. I'm failing bad. This is awful. This is awful. That's the terrible. That's the worst ever.
That was not the worst
That's
ever.
5. Oh,
That's terrible. That's awful.
Not the
is
worst
5
ever.
not the worst ever?
No, that is
Okay.
the worst ever. My mind was literally.
I did say you could use anything from Joseph.
Yeah, but I couldn't. It's one of those things where it's that, and then you can't remember.
Yeah,
So you
no, I
start trying to
know.
think of something else. Then you try to think of, oh, that was terrible.
No, it was
And
good.
as soon,
Thank.
as,
I'll
soon
take
as the
it.
pressure happens, everybody's brain goes, "Ah!"
We'll move on. We'll move on.
Yeah, move on. Forget that happened. Cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Yes, It's in my contract. I signed.
Yeah, we didn't play the game with Matt.
No, we forgot.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Go on, Davina.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What is the dream project? You know, the one where in sort of 5 years' time, that's what you want to be doing.
That's a good question. So in terms of acting wise, in terms of TV and film, I've always said from the start I'd always love to do a Guy Ritchie movie or series. Something his stuff I'd love to work on. I did. I got past like two rounds or 3 rounds for The Gentleman. And then you just don't hear anything, so that's fine. But gutted there. But yeah, something with Guy Ritchie directing would be amazing. I'd love to work with him. And then musical theatre wise, I'd love to do. You know what? I've never done a show in the West End. I've done like little solo gigs and stuff like that, but I've never actually done. I've been in finals for lots of different things, but never got it. But I'd love to do, a show, Tuesday to Sunday in the West End. That's what I'd love to do.
Well, we'll manifest for you.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, we met each other, like you've mentioned, doing Dreamcoats, which you're currently on tour with. We met in Bromley, and I was a special guest, one night only. So thank you again for having me there. There we go. But tell
I don't
us,
know why this is here. I actually don't know why this is here.
for those people
I think
listening who maybe haven't seen the show, just explain a bit about the show and maybe where some places where they can find you moving forward.
Dreamcoat is a show where it's people from Joseph, so people who have played Joseph, people who have been in, part of the Brothers, myself being Pharaoh. There's four of us, and we all sing amazing four-part harmony musical theatre songs. So stuff from, again, We Will Rock You, Come What May. Literally, look, I can't even remember the songs I sing. All these different songs, which are incredible. It's a real feel-good party atmosphere, with some lovely sort of broken down, real sort of ballads as well. We have the most amazing time. You get to sort of see an insight into our lives as well. The audience get to ask us questions, which we answer. There's always an amazing kids choir there as well, who do a lovely rendition of Matilda. They're great, and they accompany us as well in some of the Joseph numbers. We're heading off back on tour. We've actually got this month off, but we're back on tour in September into October and November. I've got all the dates on my diary behind that wall over there. So yeah, but check out the website. It's got all the dates on it. Get your tickets. It's amazing. Keith is the producer of it. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, lovely guy. And I think he's been on this before. Yeah, it's an incredible. It's a really good night. So yeah, bring your mum, bring your dad, bring your nan, bring your dog. Just bring everyone.
And what's the website
Amazing.
title?
www.dreamcoatstars.com. You can find
It'll
us
come
on
up. Google it. We'll find it.
Google it. It'll find that, or find us on Instagram, social media handles, Dreamcoat Stars, and all that. And yeah, this is it here. It's amazing. Maybe it tells you in here where to go. Yes, here album. All the albums out as well, so you can buy the album now as well. So the albums are out. And yeah, it's dreamcoatstars.com. Yeah, such songs as Come Alive, You'll Never Walk Alone, Saturday Night Fever, West Side Story, Time of My Life, Mamma Mia, Bodyguard. Where are all these songs when I needed them? God.
You could have had that open in front of you.
I should have done. I literally could have opened it and gone, these are all the songs we'd put an idiot. But here we are.
We'll do it again and cut it in.
Yeah, just put it in and we'll have an amazing time. But yeah, we have a great time on tour. It's lovely. There we are, all singing nicely in our
little these gorgeous boys.
Here we are, just Matt, just singing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know, but I'm a drag queen. And
I know, darling. I know.
Are renowned for loving a bit of drama. So I want to know, what has been your biggest bit of drama in your career so far? You've worked with so many different people. You don't have to name them, but you can tell us a story about some drama.
Oh, some drama. always drama. I mean, God, EastEnders is like, that's where I started off, and you have to learn, what to say and what to do and how to act. Because so I was in EastEnders, oh God, I think it was come up the other day. It was 15 years ago from my first ever episode. That was 15 years ago. And yeah, there wasn't, we didn't have like loads of social media back there. So you couldn't sort of like address something straight away. So it was always whatever got in the paper, people just believed. And it was like, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. I remember my first time being in EastEnders, the week I was there, I was filming, and then I was going out to go and get some lunch or something, and you're walking down the road, and I was literally hearing like, and I was like, what on earth is that sound? Like, is there like a bird or a squirrel following me or something? And it was literally like, the old school like paparazzi, like literally there, just. So you'd have to like, make sure that you were. It was hard as well. I mean, I was only 21, but you'd have to make sure like you were sort of like dressed right, wearing the right things, making sure like. And back in those days as well, like I when I had like quite a lot of makeup on, or we'd do some things, and I had like quite oily skin, so I got bad acne. So every time I was going out, I was making sure that I had to be covered up because I didn't want like stuff to get things. So, and then it all gets in your head and everything. So you live sort of like through that. But for me, I mean, the drama for me, I think it's not so much drama, but it's a really cool story. It's my first ever Christmas at EastEnders. So we film like 6 weeks in advance. So our Christmas is in like early November. and it was snowing, and we actually got snowed in, and everybody had to stay in their dressing rooms. And I'll never forget it because it was my first sort of like year. I joined in like July, and so we talk about August, no, August, September, October, November. So 4 months after I joined with shooting Christmas, and the moons were quite a big part of the Christmas story. And all the characters are there. You know, you've got your Ian Bills, you know, your Phil Mitchells, you know, Doc Cotton's there. All these people, these are like classic, iconic characters, and everyone's got to stay in Eastend, like at the set overnight, because no one wants to go home because there's snow everywhere. People are scared about not being able to get home, and obviously, you know, people got some drinks in, some this, some of that. And I just remember walking down my dressing room, like from where I was, like walking around where everybody's dressing room was, and everyone had their dressing rooms open. Um, and I'm walking past, and there's like Phil Mitchell with like a couple of other characters in there, just like having some drinks and like smoking a fag out the window. And I'm just like, this is mad. And I'm walking along, and then like, you know, Ian Beale's walking towards me, but his name, obviously, it's Adam. And he's like, all right, mate, you know, fancy a drink? You know, you're on a shot. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I got to the end, and then like June Brown's just there in a dressing room, just like, all right, darling, come and have a chat. So you go in and you sit down and you're chatting to June. She's like, so how you finding it, babe? You loving it? I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. You know, she's like, yeah, but remember, you know, always be yourself, always think, you know, it's just, and then you have all these like memories of all this, and it was such a surreal experience, but it's just incredible. Like for me, I was just a young lad coming out of drama school, my first ever job. But yeah, it was, you know, it was incredible. But you know, over my time and stuff like that, like, you know, Dance on Ice, everything, there's all those scandals and all stuff like that. But I don't want to talk about that. So it's all right.
Oh no, thank you for sharing that. I always think that you never quite know what people have experienced, and so even just I'm picturing now that corridor of all those famous people that you must have
Oh mate, it's mad.
felt. You must have felt starstruck, but also you're one of them as well
Yeah,
now
yeah.
in that lineup. So, if someone listening wanted to get into the industry in any form, whether it be, you know, acting, singing, dancing, what advice would you give them?
I always say to people and youngsters, I always think what I did, which was like dream, believe, and achieve. So dream it, believe in it, and work your absolute bum off to achieve it. It is a tough industry, like it really is a tough industry to get into. There's so many people. You have people that train, you have people that sort of like, you know, just get picked up because they're just naturally talented. You have people that will want to do it but maybe aren't as good and can't do it, but will work harder than you, because it's all about, you know, wanting. You got to want it, you've got to really want it, and you've really got to sort of pick the right sort of path. And I think when you're coming out of drama school, when you're coming out of these different things, it's picking the right agent. It's going with an agent that will represent you in a certain way. Maybe, you know, don't go with an agent who has so many people on their books that they can't sort of like concentrate on you. So maybe looking for those, you know, smaller boutique agents that will help you achieve what it is that you want. But for me, I just you've got to believe it, dream it, and achieve it. That's my goal. That's what I always say to people.
Positive energy kind of
Yeah,
vibes.
absolute positive energy. You know, take it all in.
Okay, well
Enjoy.
let's
100%.
lead with that positivity. We've got one more game for you. You're gonna smash this one. I feel it. I feel it. Um,
Sorry, my wife was just calling me. I do apologize.
that's okay.
She's
I'll
gone
start
now.
that.
Bye.
Yeah. I'll say it again, but we might keep that in because it's nice to know
Yeah.
that she cares about you. Hi, wife. Hi, Karina. Yeah, so I was going to say I'm going to sing a line of a song, and you've just got to sing the next line.
Okay.
Now, you might not have sung this line personally on stage, but you will have heard it many times.
Okay.
Some people dream of the wonders they'll do before their time on this planet is through.
Some just don't have anything planned. They hide their hopes and their heads in the sand.
Yes, you've absolutely smashed that. Most people get that one wrong.
They do.
And you even got the breath and the timing.
I am a professional, darling.
Honestly, seriously, we've done interviews before with West End stars. They're going to sing that song on stage that night, and they forgot the words when I was trying to. I was like,
Not one.
Not you. You're ready
Not
for the
me,
West End. Here we go.
I'm
Come
ready.
on.
Here I come.
All right, perfect. So before we let you go, Matt, where can people find you on the old socials?
I was about to say Ascot, where I live.
Don't give us your postcode.
Don't be
You'll
honest
find
you
it,
now.
Ascot, darling. Just look for the house with the big clock.
Look for the big clock.
So handle-wise, we are at Instagram is at Matt Lapinskas. TikTok is I think at Matt Lapinskas. Just Matt Lapinskas. Everything. Just type in Matt Lapinskas, you'll find me. I'm about.
Amazing.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
so
joining
much.
us on stage door.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.